Do you believe that people have inherent value, that people just means to an end or an ends unto themselves per person, per duty ethics? Do you believe people have inherent value? Okay, my answer to this is a little bit... Okay, I'm thinking about it. My answer to this is a little bit nuanced. I don't think that people themselves have inherent value, but I think their potential has inherent value. Does that make sense? So, like, it's the person's potential that has value, I think. But, like, a person doesn't have value because they exist. Yeah, if you have a person, for instance, right, that their entire goal is to run around killing people, then no. I'd say you just fucking shoot them in the face and just be done with it. You know what I mean? Like, why do I care about that? Like, do I think that person has value? No, there's no potential. What potential could they have? It makes sense. I expected it from a woman of faith. You have to make the value. I think the value is based on your trajectory. It's based on your trajectory, basically, right? So, like, if you have a person whose entire intent is to, lie, cheat, steal, kill, grape, then, like, I don't see any value in them. I just throw them out the airlock. You know what I mean? Like, why would you keep them around? It just doesn't make sense to me, right? But then a person that doesn't do that has a potential of being, like, a valuable person to society. I don't see any I don't see any fragment in which that person, like, in the future would be like a person that we would want, right? I somewhat disagree. All humans are made in the image of God, and we are called to do right by them. What form that takes is not always clear. One of the ways we can do that by shaping society to inform on their potential. Okay, so let me tell you how I see it, okay? So here's how I see it. So even if everybody had the potential to be good, okay, let's say that we had, like, a society, right? Because we live in a society, and everyone had the potential to be good, but then if this one person's potential risks me 10 people who could be much more productive than them, then
who the fuck is Leaflit?
I believe we have to excommunicate them. We have to excommunicate them because otherwise we are offsetting, in order to satiate our own desire.
Who the fuck
for
is Leaflit?
Our own desire to do what we think is, I guess you would say, cosmically right. We would be damning a bunch of other people to a terrible fate.
Who the fuck is Leaflit?
Mercy on the guilty is cruelty upon the innocent. Yes, exactly. That's my point. So, like, if I had, like, a person who was, like, a murderer and, like, they were a psychopathic murderer, and then I had 10 other people and we all lived in this... Let me give you an example. One person's a psychopathic murderer. They live inside of a house. We all live in the house, right? And one of the people tells me, I can fix him, right? I can fix the psychopathic murderer. And I say, like, I would then calculate, okay, what is the fail state of this psychopathic murderer? The fail state is he kills everybody, right? Whereas the other fail state is, like, I killed the person who's a psychopathic murderer. That could have potentially been not a psychopathic murderer. But to me, that is not worth the risk. Do you see what I mean? Like, we're risking like a great fail state over a person who's already a psychopathic murderer. So it just doesn't make sense for me to keep them around. It seems like it's just not worth taking that risk. What makes someone valuable? It's the combination of their... It's the combination of, like, the things that they can do versus the, like, I guess, calculated with the negative externalities that they cause on society. Right? And I think as human beings, everyone already has the potential to do good. So I don't even really think about the potential to do good. I that's kind of baked in. So at neutral, at, like, absolute neutral, yeah, I'd say people have, like, an inherent value because, again, made in the image of God, we're all human beings. And there's the potential there, right? But the instant a person starts to shift towards destruction, then it becomes, okay, now I have to think about the externality of this person and like the negative effects that they'll have. Skylar Kaide, thank you so much for the raid. Thank you. I really appreciate it. Thank you. Right. Does that make sense? I don't know. Does that help a little bit? Thank you. Thank you, Kaide. I really appreciate it. Thank you. Welcome. You might want to think about that well before they turn to destruction. Well, yes. Obviously, yes. Obviously, we try to mitigate that as a society, right? But I'm talking about the case in which it already occurs, right? So it's like in a case that, like, what are the mitigating factors? Like, what can we do to prevent that kind of a thing from happening? Well, I'll tell you what, not importing a bunch of people who are like that is already like, I mean, that's an easy one. That's a freebie, basically, right? But what do you do about people that already have those tendencies? Well, I think a lot of those negative tendencies can be channeled in good ways with incentives. I don't know. People that are like genuinely psychopathic, I think there's really nothing you can do about it, to be honest. I actually agree with the chatter. She responded to a minute ago that humanity does have inherent value because we are made in the image of God, but I think her point that someone has no potential for good lacks value. No, it's because okay, so can we agree that a person can have value and a person can also have negative value? That a person's actions and a person's nature combined with their actions and their intent can create a negative, right? They can have negative value, right? So I'm assessing the passive normal value that they have, which I said at neutral is positive. I'm assessing that with their negatives, right? So the instant that goes past zero, then it becomes
Leaflit?
Significant. The further it is negative away from zero, the more it has a negative external effect on society. And by allowing it and by taking the risk of them not offending over and over and over, right? Like if a person offended, like, let me give you an example. Say somebody has beat a person within an inch of their life 3 times in their life, right? Say they did this 3 times, right? And you're saying, well, they didn't kill anybody. So, it's probably okay to let them out, right? We can probably rehabilitate them, right? But like, to me, I'm thinking, well, what if the 4th time they actually do kill somebody? Like, they've already shown that, like, they have a pattern, right? Was it justified in cold blood? I mean, yeah. I mean, obviously that informs as to like the potential, right? Yeah. What makes an action good or bad? I mean, what makes an action good or bad is I mean, to me, honestly, and this is just this is all what I believe is that if you're what's the word for it? Fuck. I know this and I'm blanking on it. If you're infringing on other people, basically, other people's like rights to themselves, like other people's property rights, I suppose, then that would be negative. Yes. In general. And whatever source that comes from, whether that's religious or some kind of your own personal morality, whatever you want to say it is. If we can't agree on the same morality, we just have to kill each other, to be honest. Because I'm not going to live in a world in which like you think it's okay to kill people. Does that make sense? At that point, we have to kill you. That's just the truth of the world. That's how the world works. What about diplomacy? Well, I mean, if people want to go kill each other on their own island, then like maybe, as long as it's not affecting us, right? Like maybe that's something and that's fine. You're gonna have to weigh that. There's a lot of things to weigh there. Like, what do you do about there are so many factors involved in this. So like, say, you know, let's say that country B is like turbo they're like turbo graping kids or whatever, right? And it's like, well, we should just glass them. But then like what happens then? Like you glass like half of them, and then, you know, now you took over their country. Now what are you going to do with that, right? Like, are you going to, like, can we actually is there a capability to cultural shift away people away from that? Like, I don't know the answer to that, right? Because if you mess this up, then now you're culturally shifting people who are not under the cultural pressure you're able to exert. They're not going to accept it. And you don't have enough cultural pressure basically to like change them. So then now it just regrows basically. And then it's even worse now because now you're letting them into your country, and now your country is getting infected. Right? So it's I don't know. It's these kind of decisions are they're above my pay grade, guys. Like these leadership positions, I'm not the queen of the world. I don't want to be. But they're this is what people this is the dilemma that people in leadership have to face. And it is a dilemma. I mean, to go back to the Bible, it's the dilemma that Saul faced, right? God said, go glass those people, like literally all of them. Because if you don't glass all of them, then they're going to kill you. And they're going to kill you if you don't do it. So, you know, you go glass all of them, literally every single person. And he said, you know, I can't do that because it'd make me feel bad. And people will be upset at me if I do it. And then he didn't do it. And then what happened? They eventually came back and attacked them. Right? So it's the problem with morality nowadays is a lot of people, they have this sort of, I don't know what the word is for it, but they have this sort of like weak performative morality, where their entire morality is shaped around not rocking the boat, making everyone like them, make people like them more. It's not shaped in reality. It doesn't understand that your actions and the things that you want to do have consequences, and those things will have negative consequences on other people. Mercy, again, mercy towards what's the word? Mercy towards my brain is the guilty. Mercy towards, you know, the guilty, the people that want to do bad things is tyranny. Is tyranny to the innocent people. There's always an externality that you're not thinking about, basically. That by saying, I'm going to be a good person, I'm going to do the right thing, pat myself on the back, pat, you are dooming people in the future. You're dooming people in the future. You're dooming people now that will be subjected to that. Right? Oh, those people, they just have no money, and it's really sad. We have lots of money in America. We should let them come here because they want to come here. And then they come here and they fuck everything up. Or like in the cities, you don't even have to go immigration. You could say in the inner cities. Oh, you know, it feels really bad to put these people in jail. Yeah, I know they rob and they steal, they beat people up, but you know what? We can't have them in jail. That's fucked up. Then what happens? Someone gets stabbed. Someone's business gets burned down. A flash mob of these freaks break into they go into a business and they fuck everything up for no reason. It's tyranny to the everyday law-abiding person that just wants to live their life in a good way. And this is what happens when this is what happens when you force your morality and you externalize those consequences onto other people that isn't you. When you have weak leaders that want to look good, they want to feel good, they want to tell everyone, I'm such a good person, I'm the best, I'm so nice, look at me, I'm so kind. They hurt everybody. They hurt the entire community over and over and over again. And then now they have no stores because the stores don't want to be there. The prices for everything goes up. The prices of rent goes up. These people are being subjected to the tyranny of like violence, theft, and then they're gonna have to start paying gang members to fucking protect them, like paying like protection fees. Like this is ridiculous. And this is what happens when you're a huge fucking pussy. This is what happens when you're this person that craves acceptance. You crave attention. You want everyone to love you, and you fuck everyone's lives up. And this is why people can't be leaders usually, because they're just they're the worst. These narcissistic leaders like Gavin Newsom, for instance, just literally Mamdani too. They're literally the worst. They fuck everything up. Sorry, that was like the longest tangent ever, dude. Like, how long was that? That was like a fucking hour or something. Anyway, I don't know if that's gonna be a separate video or something. That was like a very long rant.